Good evening, this is the TTC Dungeons & Dragons News Roundup. I'm the_twig, and I'm analysing game rules. It is 6 PM BST on Friday the 28th of June. A large amount of detail has been revealed regarding spells, their formats, their inclusions, and some specific details. Spells will now all show a list of classes which can learn them in their spell description, and the ritual tag has been moved down to the casting time line. This is intended to make spells easier to understand, and to help players and dungeon masters identify how a character might learn each spell. The Elementalism cantrip has been confirmed to be included in the player's handbook, replacing the 4 elemental cantrips: Mold Earth, Shape Water, Gust, and Control Flames. This is a cantrip which functions similarly to Prestidigitation, Thaumaturgy, and Druidcraft, with the notable feature of being able to create 1 cup of clean water which evaporates in 1 minute. This has been criticised for trivialising any survival-based adventures. However, it has also been calculated that this water must be very, very hot. Many other spells have been confirmed to be included, including Synaptic Static, Steel Wind Strike, and Dragon's Breath, which was stated to have been included so that it could be given to the Draconic Sorcery Sorcerer. This confirms the existence of an expanded spell list for Draconic Sorcery, and likely also for Wild Magic Sorcery, which will be similar in nature to the list already confirmed for the Aberrant Sorcery subclass. A new spell has been announced. Jalazi's Storm of Radiance creates a 40-foot cylinder which does radiant and thunder damage, and also blinds and deafens creatures and makes them unable to cast spells with verbal components. Of particular note is the fact that Jalazi, the spell's namesake, is confirmed to be a Celestial Warlock. However, this spell was not mentioned when Jeremy Crawford and Todd Kendrick spoke about the Celestial Warlock's spell list. This means that there is a high likelihood that Jalazi's Storm of Radiance is a level 6 or higher spell and is on the Warlock spell list. Many spells will have changed effects in the 2024 rules. Several of the summon spells from Tash's Cauldron of Everything have additional forms which they can take. Guidance is a 1-minute concentration spell which now requires the caster to specify a single skill, such as Stealth, when it is cast. And Polymorph and similar spells will now give temporary hit points rather than an additional hit point pool. Furthermore, the spell Cloud of Daggers can now be moved on subsequent turns, and Blade Ward now has a duration of 1 minute concentration and gives enemies -1d4 on their attacks against the caster. We now go to our legal correspondent, the_twig, with a report on the Wish spell.
Yes, thank you, the_twig. The Wish spell has been announced to contain more detailed options, as well as more specific ramifications for casting it. From a legal perspective, however, we are most interested in the fact that there are 2 specific consequences stated for using Wish to change the City of Sigil or the Lady of Pain. If the Wish spell is included in the System Reference Document, also known as the SRD, then it may mean that the City of Sigil and the Lady of Pain are also included in the SRD, and as such they will enter the Creative Commons. A similar case of this has happened in the past. During early 2023, Count Strahd von Zarovich was included in the SRD 5.1. This gave anybody the right to use the name Count Strahd von Zarovich, however it did not give them the right to use his image, description, or in-game statistics. For example, a person could now write a book about Count Strahd von Zarovich, the rich aristocrat in Renaissance Paris, but they could not create a comic in which the vampire lord Count Strahd von Zarovich from Castle Ravenloft used his Children of the Night ability to summon a swarm of bats. A similar case is likely to occur with the City of Sigil and the Lady of Pain, where they may be used in name only. Of course, this is assuming that they are entered into the SRD. Wizards of the Coast may have different rules text in the SRD in a similar fashion to the fact that many spells such as Arcane Hand, Acid Arrow, and Arcanist's Magic Aura have different names between the Player's Handbook and the SRD. Many other spells will have similar descriptive features and so-called Easter eggs, and as such we will have to see how they are treated when transferred to the SRD. The_twig, legal correspondent for TTC News. Thank you, the_twig. Whilst no details were revealed regarding the crafting rules which will appear in the Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide, a significant amount of details were revealed regarding adventuring equipment and artisans' tools. Each tool now has a specific function and can be used with the Utilize action, previously called the Use an Object action, and they all specify which ability score is required when using these features. Furthermore, each artisan's tools now has a list of items that it can be used to craft.
Whilst the Player's Handbook only contains mundane equipment and some potions and scrolls, the Dungeon Master's Guide may include expanded lists. New items have been added to the list of adventuring equipment listed in the Player's Handbook, including spell scrolls, meaning that it is clearer how they can be purchased, and maps. Like all items in the adventuring equipment list, the map also has a specific game mechanic and rules. Please remember that TTC only covers the breaking news. If you would like to learn more about other announcements, including changes to the healing spells and conjuration spells, there are many other videos on this channel which you can watch. What is your opinion on this week's stories? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for future news and updates. If you have friends who are interested in Dungeons & Dragons news, please make sure that you share this with them. TTC is supported by Patreon members. They have been part of the discussion throughout the 2024 reveals and have helped to identify issues such as the legal ramifications of the Wish spell. If you would like to join our discussions, consider clicking the link in the top right of your screen. Additional thanks to SK, who wishes that the legal system did not exist. From the TTC Dungeons & Dragons News Roundup, I'm the_Twig. Bye!